Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup should be interesting. The Broncos are top 10 in first downs, and they'll be up against a Ravens team that wants to be able to control the pace. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the picturesque city of Denver, Colorado. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards. They go play action here on first down. He's got time in the pocket, and his throw is incomplete. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for, and now it's second down. Here's the offensive unit. Max's parents liked him so much they put an extra X on the end.
And they could do that because they saw something before the rest of us. They saw the potential of Max Williams and his coming to realization. Now in the NFL, a really good tight end with a little bit of speed.
Well, a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Stays on his feet. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here's the Ravens defense as they head back out there now.
Here we go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second down to the offense needing 5 yards. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Their big-bodied receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. From the gun on 3rd down. Goff. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. He's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Hauled in by Wheaton over the middle. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterback.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage. It's long.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball.
And he locates Wheaton complete. And he gets for the 1st down to the 46.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Now Bernard. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The throw on 2nd down is gone. He's got time. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up. But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Two seconds to go, 1st quarter. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the 1st quarter. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They'll go on the ground. And some room to maneuver. Cut back, left sideline. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. McManus now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes it. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback.
All right, here we go.
But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to face a third down. They're still in search of the first down after that last completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's Goff now on second down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Oh, thank you. Got a man. It's complete. Williams.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd gone to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to have a third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Goff on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's fourth down. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
It really helps your play calling because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game, dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a cat.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
They'll set up a throw. Steps away to his left. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And McManus able to put it through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Broncos want to continue to give their fans something to cheer about in the second half. The Ravens...
And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the 3rd quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Oh, the ball comes out on on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
2 yards to go here on third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him 2 yards on that play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Dancing to his left. And some room to roam now. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And this seemingly endless drive continues.
3 down. Hurry up, here we go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
So they get the field goal. The partner, that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't, but really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run again with Bernard. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And that'll bring up fourth down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Might have needed just one more block. As it stands, 37-yard return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Back now at the home of the champs here in Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. The 4th quarter here, they got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And this a 39-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Here's Goff. He's got a man. It's Williams. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now Goff. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll come out in the pistol. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing again is Goff. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball. And
he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it is incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Broncos will take over on downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now, you see these numbers, and a week ago when he struggled, it just seemed like everyone was, the world was closing in on him when he was handed the football. Here, the hole seemed to be opening up.
Yeah, and last week it appeared that he was running against 13 or 14 guys, didn't it? And I think last week, they just couldn't get in sync. Blockers, him, no matter what. It was almost like if they blocked it well, he picked the wrong hole to run through. If he picked the right hole to run through, there was just no hole really. People would swarm and knock him down. So what we're seeing this week is everything together. Got it figured out, and he just seems sharper. I don't know if it's a better week of preparation or what went into it, but he looks like the guy we know.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Forced out to his left. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys at the cornerback position.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
And they'll run it here. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on 3rd and goal. They'll set up to throw, and that is incomplete.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they're able to react and knock the ball away.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Gone. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And Denver getting set to take the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he cuts it right sideline. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Broncos, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.